we've been doing a bit of globe trotting for you recently on our podcast and a bit of focus on Hong Kong. And today the focus is still on Hong Kong, and I'll introduce our guest in a moment. But just to let you know that he is third on the championship, third on the log in Hong Kong currently. His winner yesterday was a horse called Sturdy Ruby, and we'll introduce him and talk to him in a moment. But to my left, it's not an illusion, it's not a ghost, it's Andrew Harrison. How are you?
Oh, well, we better get used to it because I'll be missing again for 2 weeks.
Where are you going now?
Oh, Kruger.
To the Kruger. Okay, well, it's nice to have Andrew here. The joys of being semi-retired. So he's my co-host today, and I've flown solo on 102. We've had Rahil Radhakrishna on 102. Lovely to have Andrew back. Our guest, all the way from Hong Kong, online, currently sitting behind a massive skyscraper at the gym. His name is Luke Ferraris. Luke, how are you?
Hi, Warren. Yeah, very good. Thanks. Thank you for having me back on the show.
Yeah, you mentioned having you back on the show. We have obviously had you on the show, but it's nice just to do a bit of an update, see how things are going, because as Andrew says, you're absolutely firing on all cylinders. You're hot at the moment, and we just want to touch base and chat to you again. So thanks for your time.
No, thank you very much. It's always great to chat to familiar faces and touch base back home.
Luke, how long have you been in Hong Kong now? Because I think the first podcast we did with you were there for about 3 or 4 months.
Going on 4 years now. It'll be my 4th season.
Time flies, eh?
Sure. 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. And Luke, you're currently third on the log. I mean, that's a huge statistic. That's a huge statement. That's a huge achievement. And of course, time is still going. But how do you feel right now?
Great. Yeah, things are ticking along well. If they could just keep sort of going the way they're going, then hopefully we're in for a nice season.
Luke, it's taken you a bit of time to really get rolling. I mean, you still had 20 winners or 24 or 5 winners last season?
28, yeah.
28,
quite
yeah.
season.
So you're on track to break that record. Things have picked up. I mean, you're always in demand, but now you've hitched up with Mark Newnham, I think. Things are going better.
Yeah, they are. I think Hong Kong's because of the nature of the beast that it is, it's a place you can't really walk into and expect to fly. It takes a bit of a while to get familiar with the trainers and the owners and build up those relationships. And I think once those start to strengthen, then obviously the quality of rides start to get better. And then it's about capitalizing on the good rides. And yeah, it always helps when you have a trainer behind you, like I've had with Mark. He's obviously turning into a powerful stable in Hong Kong, and he supported me a lot so far this season. So long may that continue.
Yeah, you got Brett Crawford moving over, another South African. So all your South African jockeys will be banging on his door there.
Yeah, it'll be good to have Brett here. Hopefully he can hit the ground running and sort of get into the groove of things quick and start training a lot of winners.
Tell me something. Like a new trainer like Brett arrives there. Where does he get horses from? From the jockey club, or from owners?
Well, initially they'll all be stable transfers from other stables, and then it's just sort of that's where the hard part comes in, is you're getting horses that sort of have been around for a while, and hopefully they have the right rating where he can get them and turn them into winners quickly. And then after that, sort of he's got to have to get the new ones in, and then hopefully the new ones that start coming through are decent, and he can keep the momentum rolling forward. But initially they'll mostly be stable transfers.
Yeah, okay.
So stable transfers are they're owned by the club, though?
No, they're all owned by owners, individual owners, and it's a bit of a thing in Hong Kong. When a new trainer comes in, there'll be a lot of stable transfers to them.
I see. Okay, I was going to say, how do they?
Thing.
That's what I was misunderstood. I mean, how do they, say stable transfers if they're owned by 75 different people? Who's to say that they're going to move those horses? But as you say, it seems to be a thing there.
Yeah, it's sort of a trend, and it's when someone new comes in, everyone sort of dives to them, and and hopefully Brett can get a lot of winners out of those stable transfers, and then it's going to be about the new what we call PPG and PPs. So PPG would be an unraced horse, and PPs would be horses that have come in with a merit rating from overseas and have raced overseas. And if he can find winners with the new horses, and then if he can get going with the stable transfers, um, and train a couple winners, hopefully that then leads to new fresh horses
Yeah.
coming into his yard and then convert those into winners, and then I think that's sort of the upward trend that you're looking for.
Luke, you've always been riding well. You've always been a good rider. You still are a good rider. We all know that. The stats are there for all to see. But as Andrew says, it took a little while maybe, for you to gain that momentum. But you're riding so well now at the moment, firing on all cylinders. Anything you've changed personally? I mean, is there anything that you're doing different that's helped tweak things?
Not necessarily, I don't think. Perhaps a bit sharper, weight's a bit better.
Okay.
Um, I've got to give a lot of credit to Mark Newnham. Because I think Hong Kong is a place where you need to get a break with someone like Mark, who's going to put you on, you know, just about all his horses and give you a proper go, and then that sort of opens doors to other trainers because they see you riding winners, and then you become in form, and then they want a piece of that, um and then the upward trend starts. So I've got to give a lot of credit to him because he threw a lot of support behind me, and it was good to, well, it's good to still be rewarding him with winners, and then like I said, other trainers sort of cotton on and jump on the bandwagon, and then it's great, and then life's jolly, and all's well.
What's it like to work with him? What's his work ethic like? What's it like to work with him? And how did the two of you cross paths?
Extremely hard worker. He does not miss a thing. Very, very good at reading races. But I find him very easy to work with. He's, like I said, he reads the race really well. You're never really tied down to instructions. I think my riding style kind of suits his training style. He enjoys horses going forward. They always rock hard fit, and you're never afraid to put them up on the pace, and hopefully they stay there. So yeah, I've gotten on well with him and enjoyed his training style, and I think he's enjoyed my riding style too. So it's been a good match, and hopefully that long may continue.
Yesterday's winner, Sturdy Ruby, that was his horse, wasn't it?
No, that was for trainer Manfred Mann.
Ah, okay.
Now that Zach's got a problematic toe, can you cash in there?
Well, yeah, it was obviously very unfortunate what happened to them, but I suppose it has opened up the door slightly to some of the better rides on going around, and yeah, I have been able to get on a couple of nice ones coming up, so hopefully we can do something with them.
Andrew was talking about your recent big race victory. Tell us a bit more about that.
Quite an amazing story. Um, I think he's a homebred from Australia. He's probably one of the smallest horses in Hong Kong. He weighs 990 pounds. I mean, initially when he came into the yard, he was a small, hot, uptight, high energy horse that was hard to handle, struggled keeping the lid on him. But he's just progressed so well. And what he lacks in size, he makes up for tenfold with heart. Um, he's gone through the ranks really well. And at the start of the season, if you said he was going to be running in a mile, let alone the classic mile, I'll probably say you're dreaming. But yeah, he's just progressed really well. Mark's done a phenomenal job with him, and yeah, like I said, as gutsy as they come. Um,
And his name is My Wish,
so
by the way.
it was good. Yeah.
I'm not great with remembering names, Andrew. You should know that by
That's
now.
why I've got it written down.
Okay, my wish.
See, yeah.
Now, you're at the gym at the moment. Obviously, that's firmly part of your daily routine or weekly routine to keep fit. You've touched on your weight. You're obviously watching that all the time, but you're happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, I think that also, took a bit of time for me to to get my head around. South Africa, you're not really too worried about it because you're racing every day and you're riding work, so that keeps your weight down. Whereas here, you definitely don't ride as much work, and you got a lot more time to yourself. So if you're caught sitting on the couch too long, you end up snacking, and then your weight climbs a kilo and then climbs another kilo, and before you know it, you're taking off way too much weight and before races and probably not at your best. So um, I think I've wrapped my head around it now, and I've got a good handle on it, and I think that's showing.
What is your weight now, Luke?
The lightest I ride is about 54 and a half, 54.8.
Okay.
Talking about memories, who was it that we spoke to that said it's a sitting on the couch problem?
Carice.
He's sitting on the couch problem. You've just had a lovely family visit. Maybe the family are still there. Tell us about your joyous time recently with the family.
Yeah, it was really good. Shame mom unfortunately couldn't make it out, but dad and Caroline were here. Caroline's now in Japan. Her boyfriend is playing rugby there. He was originally with the Sharks and then got a contract out in Japan. So
What's his
she's
name?
gone with him, and she's Murray Costa.
Oh, Murray, yeah, okay.
She's lucky enough that she can work from home. So she goes to Japan, but every 3 months her visa runs out. So she has to come back to Hong Kong to renew it. And then I don't know for what reason she went home, but she went back to South Africa, and then Dad, who's now fully retired, decided it'd be a good time for him to come out, and yeah, made a bit of a holiday of it, and it was good to have them here, and obviously had them on course for a winner, which was really nice. But yeah, I had a great time all around.
How are your fellow South Africans doing, Keegan and all the others?
Good, I think. Yeah, Keegan's enjoying it. Lau too. He likes it. We play golf a lot. Keegan obviously gets more time to spend with his kids. But yeah, I think they're all enjoying it.
Talking of golf, looking at Luke's lovely Titleist cap, we were given 2 caps to this week, and I've left them behind. Very kind compliments of Volmut stud down in the Cape, so we'll have to wear them next week.
Okay.
To show our appreciation. But Titleist cap, golf, what's the handicap?
Probably 15 at the moment.
Sure.
In other words, it's golf, yeah.
No, compared to our 24, it's darn good. And also, it was nice to see Diego popped over to see you guys fairly recently too.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Good to have Diggs over here. He enjoys it over here. It's a nice holiday for him, and it's good to catch up with old mates and keep in touch. And yeah, we had a blast.
The results, the South African results, Luke. Obviously, you might not watch every race every day, but you obviously keep up with who's having winners, etc.
Yes, I probably should keep up more. Um, yeah, it's funny though. I watch the big days, and and find myself missing it. So I keep at arm's length. I still keep an eye out, but sort of not as close as I probably should.
Any chance of you
Not as
coming back?
fun.
Sorry, Luke. Any chance of you coming back in those 3 or 4 months in your off season to ride?
Well, the Gold Cup is looking like a possibility to ride. It all depends on how the season goes, but I would be open to rides for the Gold Cup. I think I'm sort of leaning that way. That should be interesting.
Well, you're asking about those 3 months, and it's a bit of a hard question, I know, but we did pose it to Carice. Andrew's saying any chance you come back home to see us over those 3 months, but the long-term goal is to try and stay there. Let me put it to you that way: is to try and stay in Hong Kong as long as possible. South Africa coming back here permanently is probably not on your radar. Is that right?
Yeah. I think as long as Hong Kong is going good, it'll be home for me. Um, but yeah, we're not too sure what's in the future. But I mean, for the time being, it's going great, and I know I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Is Japan on your radar?
Well, I think if the season keeps going the way it is, and I can finish in the top three, I get a contract to Japan. I'm not too sure the details of it, but I know you sort of get I think it's a 2 or 3 month stint, I think. But yeah, we'll have to see at the end of the season.
Yeah, because Lyle made a name for himself when he was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list. I want to tick off that going there.
Luke, the changes, and you say you may not have watched much South African racing, etc. But you've certainly heard about that Hollywood stepping in to Cape Racing, Hollywood now stepping into Gold Circle, KwaZulu-Natal land, and massive changes, massive financial injections. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Just from sort of some of the shots that were on at Kenilworth of the grandstand and the new developments that have happened there, it looks fantastic, and I'd be very excited to see what it's like in person. But it's I think Greg Bort is doing wonders for the game, and I saw everyone's very grateful for that, and obviously Hollywood, their continued support is obviously much appreciated. So I mean, I'd like to think that South African racing is on an upward trend, which it looks to be, and it looks like it's going great. And some stakes have increased. I know the Summer Cup's gone up, so that's all fantastic to see. It's great looking in, and the shows that are put on big days with all the camera work and the presenting is really good. And it's so quite something to be proud of. Watching from here.
Sunday is the big day. You were just chatting to us off air, the Classic Cup, obviously revved up and ready to go.
Yeah, second leg of the Triple Crown here. Um, our little fella, my wish has got to go an extra furlong, which is obviously the big question mark. But he won the Classic Mile, and he's uh, he's heading in the right direction in terms of pulling up from that race. So all systems go for Sunday.
You'll see the prize money is not shy either. 13 million Hong Kong.
Yeah, there's good incentives.
What's your chop there, man? 10%.
Just you can judge it by his smile.
Yeah, we got one. I want two.
Now, we're not going to keep you for too much longer. We just wanted a quick touch base. But what time is it there now exactly?
It is 5 o'clock.
Okay, well then I was going to ask you, just so the public can understand roughly, well, I can't ask you what are you going to do for the rest of the day, but what did Luke do today? Take us through your day very briefly from early this morning.
Well, we obviously had night racing yesterday, so we get back very late from that, and then this morning, two gallops, sort of track work in the morning, and then barrier trials after that, and then because you're running on about 3 hours sleep, you tend to hit a brick wall at about 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So I had a bit of a sleep, had a massage after that, and then we have entries on every Monday and Thursday. So did that, did the entries for next week, Wednesday. And then hit the gym now, and I'll have a dinner this evening.
Luke, tell me, how do the barrier trials work in Hong Kong? What purpose do they
Pretty
serve?
simple. After track work, sort of 8:15 a.m. They'll grade the track and put the barriers on, and you're there in your track work gear, and you just put the colors overwards, got the track work saddle on, and sort of just spin around. And you usually do about 3 or 4, or depending on how many you have. You could have one, or you could be in every batch. But very easy and like clockwork.
Well, are they just there to sort of show the public that the horses are fit and well?
Yeah, I think trainers also use them for fitness. Sort of it's you get 1,200 and 1,000 meter trials, and then occasionally the odd 1,600 meter trial. But yeah, fitness. Some horses have to pass them if they got barrier problems, or if a horse was very disappointing in a race and sort of didn't run as expected. The stewards will issue them an OVE BT, which is an official veterinary exam and barrier trial. Yeah, so they use for an array of things, but I suppose it's up to the trainer what they want to use it for.
Okay, right.
Do-
The
sorry, carry on.
the stewards are pretty strict there.
Yes, extremely.
Because I see their sort of after race reporters, it's almost like a Bible, it's so long.
Yeah, yeah. The fines can get heavy too.
Luke, with regards to riding work, I mean, I'm just trying to compare it because a lot of the viewers, and including myself, and I think you, haven't been to Hong Kong. So, you know, we are accustomed to the riding work at Summerfeld. You know, this morning, did you know exactly the horses you were going to ride for which trainer, or do you sort of just arrive at the track and wing it?
No, so it's all done very, very well. It's you get a message from the assistant trainer usually the day before saying, "Can you please gallop on at 6:45?" Or, "I've got a gallop for you. What time can you do?" And then you'll send them back a time, and exactly at that time you'll be at the track, and the horse will be there waiting, and you get on your gallop or your get off. Um, so usually if you have four gallops, you stack them on top of each other. You go 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30. Or you'd start earlier, 5:30, 5:45, and it usually takes about 15 minutes to work a horse. Um, but yeah, it's all done like that. You don't really
It's like clockwork. Eh?
just go to the track and ask to get on one because they have their work riders
So you
and
wouldn't
that's what they do.
really, once, if in between those scheduled gallops that you know where you're going, I mean, if you wanted to swing by a ring and ask to jump on one, you certainly could, but I mean, is that not really standard practice?
No,
Sure, it's
no,
very
no,
different to
no.
here,
They
very, very
there's
different
no,
to
there's
here.
no real rings. They sort of go from their stable straight to the trotting ring,
Okay.
trot around the trotting ring, and then go out to the track, do their work, and then go home.
I mean, it's hugely different. I mean, we've got no idea how different the schedule actually is. You know, we used to going to Summerfeld and Ashburton, ring to ring, each trainer's there. You know, if you don't run from ring to ring, the jocks get moaned at, and it's so different there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, you only gallop the ones you've been asked to gallop, and then if you have a space between gallops, you go and do networking. You'll have horses that you're wanting to get on, and you'll go to the trainer stand and go talk to the trainer and find out where the horse is going to run and where you can ride or where you can fit it in. And then you can sort of do that. You're more effective doing that than asking them if you can ride well because
That's
they
interesting.
have their work riders.
It's more effective going to a trainer, chat, market yourself, network, than actually asking to ride a horse.
No, that's why blokes like Basil, Marcus, and them that just did so well because they're good at schmoozing trainers, eh?
You've got to be good at all part of your job as a jockey. You've got to be able to talk. You've got to be able to ride. You've got to be able to think. It's a whole.
Basil was different class for you.
Then just three last little bits to talk about before we let you go back to the gym. You
My
mentioned
phone cuts out. I'm really sorry, but I've been pretty busy. My battery's a bit low, but
no problem. We'll be
we'll
quick.
keep going.
We'll be very, very quick. Last night, late, you said, what time is the last race? Because when we race here until 8 o'clock at night, people start to moan. What time's the last race there?
10 to 11.
10 to 11.
I'll be in a coma by then.
Next question. Your age. Remind us of
23.
your age. 23. Okay. And then the last thing to do, if you've got any battery, that building behind you, are you able to tilt your phone just for a bit to show everybody the size of that building behind you and your surroundings
Yeah.
so they can just get some
That's
idea?
sort of the clubhouse. The gym is in there.
Right.
And then there's some class over there, and then the race course is down there.
Sure.
If you can see it.
What a great day it is, or afternoon it is. But Luke, thank you for your time and thank you for everything, and lovely to touch base with you. And we enjoy cheering you home, and we wish you all the best for Sunday and just forever, really.
Thank you very much, guys. It was great to catch up again.
No, good. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Luke. That's all. That's all the best. Yeah, we'll see you on Sunday, hopefully in the winner's box.
Hopefully. Cheers.
All
Thank
right,
you very
that's
much.
Luke Ferraris. Cheers, Luke. 23-year-old, highly focused. The world at his feet, or the world is his oyster. Wow. 23 years old.
Yeah, but he's always been disciplined. I mean, if you know how his grandfather Ormond operates, and you know how his father operated. With strict dedication. So, and he's picked it up. So you're always going to do well in Hong Kong, I thought.
Did he say 10 to 11? 10 to 11, the last race. Okay. At night racing. You're right, he's disciplined, he's focused, etc. He's got his weight good, and he is. And when we chatted to Mark, too, at least, Mark McNamara, you were unfortunately unavailable. You know, he mentioned that Luke is just riding at the top of his game, which he is. He really is on fire, and so is the stable that he's riding for. And you can't help but get proud of the South Africans and all of them, as he mentioned. There's Carice, we know he's not a South African, but he's South African. Lyle, Keegan, and all the others that have gone there and work rider basis. It really is a great advertisement for us.
Yeah, I know, but they're talented riders. I mean, and they'll come back even more experienced and more focused than they are at the moment.
And we don't want to touch on a negative point, but you said to him in the 3 months, you're going to come and see us in that period and ride. And then I asked him, would he ever come back permanently? And his answer was pretty much no. And you can't really, I can't say blame, sad for us, but I mean, there's so much going on out there in the big bad world.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I mean, Hong Kong is world leader in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
So you can't, I mean, if you make it your name for yourself there,
it's foolish to give it all up.
Yeah, but you're basically done for the world. You could ride anywhere in the world, I think, after especially if you've done well there. And apart from that, I think the cash incentives are, tasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a statistic, it's a stat, it's a known fact. Okay. What's happening? There's lots and lots of action here at Hollywood Bets. And I'm just going, before we talk about the action at Hollywood Bets, Gravel, I'm sorry I left our caps behind. Thanks to Enel Becker, Fulmwood Stud, but we'll have, you're okay, you can get away with not having too many caps because you've got a bushy head of hair, so I still need them. Now, lots of action here at Hollywood Bets, Gravel. Roofs being fixed, polytrack being refurbished, parade ring being attended to, painting is just action. You haven't been here for a little while. What did you think? Action's taking place?
No, I was just looking at the new livery of, what's it, black and white?
Yes, same colours, corporate colours as Cape Racing.
Yeah. And it looks smart.
Yeah, it certainly does look smart. So there's plenty going on at
least
Hollywood.
The roof won't leak again.
Yeah, no, all is being attended to, so it really is fantastic. Sad that we had to lose. You'll probably be watching, wherever you're watching this, there was supposed to be a night race meeting on Friday night. That got washed out. And a couple of people have said, well, why did they pull the plug so soon? Have you seen some of the videos going around? Over 100 and something odd mils,
yes.
Floods, waterlogged.
Yeah, well, they're finding bodies out to sea, so they must know how much rain we had.
Okay, there's certainly a lot of water around. Just to mention the Premier Yearling Sale, there's been a lot of sales already this year, and there's a lot more to come. So just pace yourselves and get to all these various sales. The last one was the Cape Yearling Sale hosted by Bloodstock South Africa. The next one is the Premier Yearling Sale, 13th and 14th of March 2025 at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth, hosted by Cape Racing Sales. The catalogue is out, and it's quite a big catalogue, as you can see. Lots and lots of horses, lots and lots of betting opportunities. And
betting opportunities?
Sorry, I've got the flu. You've got to forgive me a little. I'm a little drowsy. I've got the flu, so you've got to be a little sympathetic. But no, not betting opportunities. Betting opportunities for all the race meetings taking place, but a lot of buying opportunities here. There's 258 horses on sale. And when we interviewed Justin Vermaak on our podcast, whom I think you unfortunately weren't here for either, he did say that there's some proper pedigrees in this catalogue.
I also noticed, I think it's Greg Bort said all profits from these sales go back into racing, so which is pretty good.
Yep. Okay. And then of course around the corner, in what it was this April, I think late April, it's the Bloodstock South Africa National Yearling Sale up in Gauteng. So lots of exciting times to come in the sales department. But that's it. Lots of betting opportunities. There's racing this weekend. I'm not going to go through all the different venues because there is still rain around.
The Hollywood Bet Scottsville on Sunday.
Hollywood Bet Scottsville on Sunday. And what does the Weather Bureau say? Have you looked?
Wet.
Okay, well, let's hope we
Mind
race.
you, I thought that last meeting on Wednesday, I thought, no way as we would race.
But the track held up so well.
The track was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So kudos to the track managers. And I can tell you, I did a drive around Hollywood Bets Gravel yesterday. And I sang that song yesterday, All My Troubles Seem So Far Away. And I can tell you that the grass track, obviously the poly track's under construction, the grass track, like a billiard table, magnificent. Well done to Kurt and Kevin and their teams, because the grass tracks are certainly looking outstanding. And you're right, it did hold up very well over the weekend. I think that's a wrap. We must mention this huge feature races on Saturday up on the Highveld.
Yeah, it's the classics, the two
Yeah,
classics.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing Spumante Dolce, see if she can remain unbeaten. Main defenders there. It's just an action-packed betting feast indeed. So that's it. Nice to be with you. Missed you. So now we'll see you again in 2029.
Yeah, probably round about there, the next election.
When's the next holiday?
Sunday I'll go.
We leave on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then so next Thursday you're not with us?
No. The thing is, the Kruger gives you 40% discount for bullies like me. So you've got to but
For
only
pensioners.
certain times of the year.
Okay.
So
No,
you
you semi-retired. I just pull
Yeah.
your chain because I can.
I'm
and
still
I like
working
to.
though.
That's all right. That's okay.
But I'll rather sit in the bush with a typewriter than sit at home.
Absolutely. Okay. So are you going to be missing the next 2 Thursdays or just the
2 Thursdays.
next 2 Thursdays? Okay. So you'll join us in 3 Thursdays' time. But that's a wrap from us. It's been lovely as always. Nice to touch base with Luke and to all the team behind the scenes. Thanks to them. Thanks to Andrew for making the trip into Durban. I'm off to the chemist, but before that, punt well, be safe, be kind, and as always, we will see you in the number 1 box.